Welcome back everybody, Dan here for Sim Racing Source. Thanks so much for joining in for today's video. So, I know that Dirt Rally has been out a long time, and this is a strange time to be doing a first look or a first impressions of a game that's been out for a very long time. But I never picked it up initially because I'm not the biggest rally fan. I'll admit I do not spend a lot of time playing rally games. And when I do play rally games of late, I've been playing WRC 8, which I've been enjoying quite a lot. I made a video about that in the past. So with the mixed reviews that I saw all along on Dirt Rally 2.0, I just kind of put a pass on it for the most part and never really picked it up. But last week, it was on the Steam sale, and it was available for 60% off, and I just thought I couldn't pass that deal up, so I went ahead and picked it up. So just now, for the first time, I've actually spent a few hours playing Dirt Rally 2.0. And there are several things that I noticed like right off the bat in comparison with WRC 8, and I thought I would make a video about it for anybody else out there who's been holding off and are curious about, my thoughts on the game. One of the first things that I noticed immediately for Dirt Rally 2.0 was how easy it was for me to map controls. Now, those of you who know my setup know that I'm running an AccuForce V2 direct drive, a separate set of Fanatic V3 pedals, one handbrake, and two separate shifters, all connected to my PC as separate USB inputs. And that throws a lot of sims for a loop. It really threw WRC 8 for a loop. WRC 8 is very difficult for me to get everything mapped correctly, and it took me a while to get it all set up. But that's not the case with Dirt Rally. I was pleasantly surprised with that. I plugged in, or I had all my stuff plugged in, loaded the game, and it recognized out of the gate, without me having to do anything, 95% of my equipment. The only thing it wasn't quite sure about was my Aolog's handbrake and the Aolog's sequential shifter, which literally took like 2 clicks to tell the game what they were and to map them. So that's huge to me. The fact that it's easier to map controls is a big deal, because no one wants to waste time trying to get your controls figured out. That's a real pain. So Dirt Rally 2.0 definitely wins when it comes to mapping controls. The next thing that I see a lot of discussion about in the community is which game is more difficult. Now, being that I don't play rally games that often, both of the games are pretty difficult to me. Just rally in general is not something I'm used to, so it's not easy for me to make it completely through a rally stage without some kind of off track. However, that being said, it was pretty clear very quickly that Dirt Rally 2.0 was definitely the easier of the two games. It was so easy, in fact, or I was doing so well to begin with, that I thought maybe there were some assist turned on. But to my surprise, I went into the menus and there was actually no assist turned on, so I was just a little bit confused about that because, typically I'm really bad at rally games. I was even really bad at Dirt Rally 1. So, I guess it's just my assumption that Dirt Rally 2.0 is slightly easier. Now, that's not a bad thing. That's really good for people like me because it's actually a little bit more enjoyable. I will say that there is one exception to this. So, WRC, while it is a little bit more difficult while you're on course, when you go off course, you can correct it and get back on without losing a lot of time. Dirt Rally makes it much more difficult to do this. When you go outside of what they're showing as the extents of the track or the dirt path or whatever you're driving on, you get stopped pretty much. It's very hard in Dirt Rally 2.0 to go off the track and make your way back on the track. But definitely, if I had to compare the two, it's easier to save yourself from an off course on WRC than it is on Dirt Rally 2.0. But everything on track, Dirt Rally 2.0 is definitely much easier in my opinion. The next thing that I see discussed quite a bit, and I noticed the same thing very quickly, is Dirt Rally 2.0 definitely wins in the engine sounds department. And that's in every camera. Interior cameras, exterior cameras, the cars just sound better, which I prefer. WRC 8, you can barely hear the engines at all when you're in the cockpit cam, which is the camera that most of us like to use, so that's really kind of a pain. Next thing I want to talk about is the force feedback. That's one of the main complaints that I have seen from the community on Dirt Rally 2.0. Everybody says that the force feedback is just not that good. So I don't know if they've done some updating or what, but I'm pleasantly pleased with the force feedback when you're on the dirt. I mean, you feel all the bumps and the jolts and stuff like that. Now, keep in mind, I am using a direct drive wheel, so it may amplify some of those smaller forces. But to me, the force feedback feels fine when you're on the dirt. Where the game does fall on its face, or where the force feedback really dies, is when you get on asphalt. When you're on asphalt, the force feedback just becomes pretty flat. Now, you're still getting the weight transfer of the car. There's still a heavy weight to the force feedback, but what you do not feel is any textures at all in the asphalt. It's like every strip of asphalt in the game is perfectly smooth, which we all know is not the case. So I'm not sure why. It's basically like they turn those surface details off when you're on the asphalt. I kind of wish they wouldn't do that, but on the dirt, the force feedback feels fine to me. And then a last little interesting tidbit that I'll add, this is probably going to only affect people who have direct drive wheels and probably only AccuForce wheels, is when you first launch the game and you go into the menu system, there's a strange sound that the wheelbase makes. It's like a digital sound, almost like there's some harsh feedback coming through the electrics or something like that. And I'm not sure what it is. I've tried the game with and without a profile, a Sim Commander profile. It's there no matter what I do. And as soon as you get into game and drive, or into a race and drive for the very first time, the noise goes away and it never comes back, even when you go back into the main menu. So I'm not sure what the deal is there. Maybe it's just a little bug. It's not super loud, but it's a little bit annoying. And that's probably just the sim not jiving correctly with the direct drive, which it's still not very common for people to drive direct drives these days. So most people are not going to have that issue, but I figured I'd mention it because it's happening to me. And it's more just annoying than anything else, but definitely not a, not a deal breaker. So lastly, I just want to say that I am quite surprised, because what I heard from the community is that Dirt Rally just wasn't that good of a game, but I am very much enjoying it. Almost think I might be enjoying it more than WRC 8 just because of the sounds and the fact that I do a little better at this game because it's not as hard. Now, I know a lot of people will see that as a con, but I don't. I like to be able to finish a stage and not have to start one over and over and over again. So it's enjoyable to me that I can actually finish a stage and that it's not so hard that I just can't finish. So yeah, overall, I'm enjoying it. There are tons and tons of different variations of cars to drive: new, old, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, tons and tons of cars. And then the rally stages, I know that they are real-world locations, but they're fictitious stages, but I still think the stages feel really good. They feel realistic, and they're definitely fun, and a lot of them have a lot of cool scenery off in the background and off in the distance, so I'm enjoying it. I still can't really say yet definitively whether I like this better than WRC. Only time will tell, and I will make an update video once I figure that out, but for now, I'm really enjoying Dirt Rally 2.0. So if you haven't tried it, I would say next time it goes on sale, maybe they'll have a Black Friday sale or something like that. Definitely wait for it to be on sale. But once it is on sale, I'd go ahead and pick it up. It's fun. It's a fun title to get you away from iRacing and the really hardcore sims where you're constantly battling it out with people. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So if this helped you out, or if you enjoyed this video, please click that like button. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you are not already subscribed. Also, I'll put a link to the new Sim Racing Source Facebook page. If you are a member of Facebook, head over there and like the page and follow it. I'm also going to be posting other sim racing content from other creators that I think is awesome, and news and various other stuff that I think you need to know about. So that'd just be another place for you to get that information. So Sim Racing Source on Facebook. I will put the link in the description below, and I think that's all the homework I needed to do. So as always, guys, thanks so much for watching the video. I appreciate it as always, and I'll talk to you in the next video. We'll see you later.